Jadon, Lance Adonis. I mean, and they just put on like a show, and I was like so amazed at
Wow.
seeing it, and I just wanted to be a part of it.
Wow.
It was wonderful, man. It was just amazing.
Amazing. There was a lot of legends and icons in there that I heard. Wow. So you were introduced straight into the ballroom scene.
Yeah, I was, but you know what though? It's so many like windows and steps there. But yeah, I was introduced to it that particular night, but it took a minute to actually go to a ball.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it took a minute.
Why was that?
More or less, I was in school and I was always like the youngest, and Jersey really didn't have a whole lot of like functions during that time that I was aware of, and it just took a minute to actually venture outside of my three friends, and I'm gonna say maybe like 5 months after that, I met Sade Pendarvis, and she was somewhat like a mother figure for me and everything, and it goes back to ups and downs with my family, and so she actually took me to my first ball.
Oh, wow. Amazing.
Yeah.
Ooh, and do you remember what ball was that? And who threw it?
Actually, I don't. It was a Jersey ball, and it was in 1989. I want to say like the springtime, and it was my first ball. I walked with her as a house for grand prize, and that was really my first introduction. But I don't remember like the name of the ball. My mind is like a blur with certain things. I'm sorry about that.
Word. All right, and then when was the first time that you discovered, the notorious hangout spot for the LGBT, Christopher Street, and all that kind of stuff, West Fourth Village, Astor Place, Greenwich Village?
Well, actually, I discovered Christopher Street a little bit later.
Really?
Yeah, it goes back to being in Marty's house, listening to all the stories. I kept hearing him talk about this club called Midtown 43. So this particular night, it was a Saturday night, I'm hanging out with one of my straight female friends, and we just walking around 42nd Street, and we stumbled across Midtown 43. So I did the club scene first, and then I discovered like Christopher Street and so on and so on.
Amazing. And what were some of the poppin' clubs, the clubs that were in back in those days?
Oh man, Izzy, it was the best. I don't even know how I even made it out of high school back then. You had you had Midtown 43, you had Better Days, you had Tracks, you had the Octagon, Hatfield. I mean, it was just so many. It was a party every night of the week except for Mondays.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah, good time.
So would you say that the scene was better back then or now?
In my opinion, I feel like the scene was a lot better then. I mean, you had way more options. I feel like nowadays options are very, very limited.
All right. Loss of creativity, loss of magic, any particular?
I mean,
reason?
just loss of everything. Loss of magic, loss of creativity, loss of manners. I mean, loss of style. I mean, it just seemed like everything have just gone and left. But as they say, for every generation, it's in with the new, out with the old.
Right. Yes, definitely, especially for the new 2015.
Yeah.
All right. How did you discover your talent in the ballroom scene?
Izzy, that came a minute. I really didn't know like what to walk or whatever, and so when I first started out, I started off walking realness, schoolboy realness.
All right.
And during that time, I looked up to Tony's Revlon, and he was like my idol.
Shout out to Tony Revlon.
Oh yeah. And I just wanted to be that man, you know. He used to wear these hats. I would go to 42nd Street, get the hats. Everybody kept saying, "You his son," you know. And next thing you know, I just started walking realness, and then Banji Vogue came out, started walking that, and that was like my calling.
Work. And who taught you how to Vogue?
Several people. Tony was the first person to teach me how to Banji Vogue. And then, thank God for Jamal Milan and Jared Princess and Floyd Overness. Those three really taught me everything.
All right. Now, you know the new girls don't know what Banji Vogue is, right? So I'm sorry, but you're going to have to explain that to the new girls.
All right. Well, back in the 80s, you really didn't have the in-between. You had your butch queens, femme queens, and you just had the queens. And they kind of like, you was a boy, so boys didn't do this, only queens do it. So, next thing you know, butch queen, well, Banji Realness Vogue, it was just a more masculine style of voguing, and it had blew up, and that's what I started off doing.
Okay, cool. Before we move on to the next question real quick, how do you feel about that whole categorizing thing between masculine and feminine things within the community?
Well, now that I'm older, Izzy, I feel like it segregates all of us. I feel like we need to throw away those particular labels and let's just be ourselves. And because, you know, the straight world, they already put a label on us. Let's just do away with it, you know?
My bad, I just have to sip some more tea.
Nah, it's all right. Go for it, you know?
And, now back to the ballroom scene, you know, because I feel the same way, you know. I ask everybody these questions, you know, to put it out there because I want people to think, but, what was your first ball that you walked? And what category?
My first ball that I walked, it was, Schoolboy Realness, and I want to say that was Paris Ball.
Okay, work. Shout out to the Paris Creek.
Yeah. It was Paris Ball. Yeah, and I didn't win. You know.
Who did you battle?
Back during then, Tommy, Ebony. I know the people. I'm like really bad with names, but I know Tommy. He was in the mix. Lamar, Ebony.
So good. Don't worry.
Yeah, that's like over 20 years ago. I'm sorry.
No problem. I'm the same way. Like sometimes you forget things, but they popped up. And okay. Now at the time, what house was you in, and who was the mother and the father?
My first real house was the House of Revlon.
Really?
And Tony was the father, Danielle was the mother, and they had just created the house.
May she rest in peace. Beloved.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Danielle
May she rest in
Revlon.
peace.
Yes.
And she was awesome. Yeah, she was awesome. Awesome.
Because you know if you don't get that honey.
Oh yeah. So at that time, Jared Princess, he was the one who told me about the house. He said, you really should come and join me and Marty. They creating this new house. It's going to be everything. Come on, you just got to go. They're going to have a open house. You got to get voted in. Okay. And let's see. And so that was my first house.
Wow. And what was the process that you had to go through to become in a house? For those who don't know, who's trying to become in a house that's tuning in right now.
During that time, they pretty much had to take a vote, and they had to see you. And during that time, it was pretty much calling the shots. It was Tony, Danielle, Stewart, Chris Revlon, and I think that was it. They was the main ones that was actually saying yay or nay.
All right.
Yeah, but I had a blast, man. I had a blast.
Now, who were some of your rivals that you had to, you know?
Well, when it came to Banji Vogue, it was I was battling like Tony, my father, Devin Elite, a couple of other people that really never like made it through, you know?
Right.
They pretty much came and gone, you know?
All right. Now, who were some of your inspirations besides the ones you already mentioned that you looked up to in ballroom scene, and why?
Ronald LeMay, he was just everything when it came to voguing. His technique, his style, it was just graceful. I mean, he was just fearless with it. Then you had Jason Overnis, Eli, Jamal, Jared, Tony. I just looked up to all those guys. And Sean Omni at the time he was. Lamar. All those guys, they style of voguing, it was just everything. But I started off walking Facebook performance before I started walking old way and pop dip and stuff. And during that time, my rivals was the first ball I ever walked for Facebook performance. It was that Jack and Andre's first ball, and and I practiced all night with Jamal and Floyd. And at the time, I was in the house of Milan. I done jump ship from the house of Revlon. And during that time, Facebook performance, it was Jared, Ira, Mark, Freddie, Floyd. It was just so many people. Leighton. Those are all like my rivals. And that particular night, my first night, that was a big moment for me. That was like, that performance had put my name on the map. And I took out Ira, and it just kind of like boomed from there.
Wow. Any particular reason why you left the Revlons?
You know what, Izzy? I was so young, you know, and my head wasn't right, and, you know, I was just being a brat at that time, you know. As the years went on, at each house that I went to, my maturity level had spiked, you know. And during the time that I left the house of Revlon, I was upset at something silly, but at the age of 18, maybe I was 19, you know, you really don't know what's immature and what is mature. So my movement to leave, it was on a immature, move.
Okay. And is there anything that you would like to say to any future kids who are thinking about pulling that same stunt?
My thing is, before you even join the house, you really should do your research and make sure that that particular house is going to have your back in every way possible. And before you actually leave your old house, again, do your research, because everything that seems to be glam is not always. So, you know, you don't want to jump out from the pot into a pan. So, you know, just really think about it. And then sometimes you have to look within yourself and say, you know what did I do to contribute to this reason of why I want to leave? And if the best solution is to leave, so be it. But just think about everything. Cross all your T's, dot all your I's. You know, just make sure that you're making the right move for yourself.
Alrighty. Word. I think that was some great advice. Beautiful advice. So those girls who are tuning in right now, you already know, girls, stop carrying and listen to your mothers and the fathers of the houses, because they're always right.
You have to. You have to. I came a long way, and you know, there was a period with my family where I got kicked out. You know, and if it wasn't for some of my house members and friends that was in the ball, you know, ain't no telling if I would even be here today. You know.
Wow.
So
blessings.
All of that, it contributes. You got to make sure.
Love. Yeah.
You got to make sure, because if you're not loved, you're alone.
Wow. Who was your favorite male figure in the ballroom scene?
some of my favorite. Some of my favorite, I'm going to say